Saturday Man Show. Bold flavor. Well, folks, what does John Schneider, Marshall Tucker, Leon Russell, and scores of other hit makers have in common? None other than the man himself, Jay Edwards. How you doing, Jay?
Bro, doing great, man. Doing good. Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Well, you know what? You've been traveling with John Schneider, Bo's Extravaganza. He loves you to death, and I'm honored to meet you. You've been at this for a long time. How long have you been traveling with Schneider doing the shows?
Actually, just I met John in 2019, just a few years back, but it was just just like that. And he's such a great guy to hook up with and hang out with, and one thing I like about him is that he loves the old school collaboration, get back together, and just like it was some years back when you never knew who was going to be on the stage with Willie Nelson or Merle Haggard. It could be Leon Russell. It could be anybody. And John's just like that, man. He was out there with Johnny Cash and running the roads with those guys and staying in their home and going to the shows. And that's just what it's about. He goes out, he's doing a little bit of everything, and he's racing cars and everything, but he'll also say, hey man, let's jump in the plane. We'll run down here to Kid Rock's birthday bash in Dominican Republic. So we did that in 2019, and it was just really, really cool. But it comes back to, you never know who's going to walk out on the stage. It could be actors, it could be musicians, and it's just great collaboration. That's what I'm about too. So.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, for 4.5 years, you had the only original show on Broadway in Nashville. Man, that must have been something. But how did all that come about?
Nobody knew. Nobody knew. An old boy told me one time. He said, "Man, you're Nashville's best kept secret." And I said, well, can I use that? And he said, yeah. So I actually I didn't make that up. Somebody else did. But
right.
I saw what was going on Broadway and Second Avenue. And I went down and met a few folks, and they're like, dude, you gotta come play. But we want you to do some Bob Seger to get the people in. And I said, why don't I just kind of do what I do and let's see what happens. And if you don't like me, fire me. And we can't do anything. Well, I just went in and started playing original music. And it was so weird is that so many people came in from all across the world and the States and said, man, this is what we came to Nashville for, but we couldn't find it. And so it was really a lot of people missing the mark down there on Broadway. And everybody can't do a 4-hour original show.
Right,
I get that.
Right.
I've been writing songs since I was 9 years old. And so, but I'm writing songs that evidently some people like to hear. And we get requests, and I got songs. I go all over the country and people say, hey man, can you sing that song? It's like, wow, how'd you find out about that? Oh man, I heard you do that, 15 years ago. And like, okay, well, let's do it. So, wow. But I went in and did it. I ran up until February of 2020, and not just because of COVID, it was because of some other things that were going through in Nashville. I cut it off, but man, that's what got me into going to places like Boston. I'd spend 2 weeks in Boston just because somebody found me on Broadway in Nashville and said, hey, can you come up here? I was like, sure. It's cool. Hey, that's how I got my beard endorsement, man. So homeboys walked in. Who did your beard? I don't know. I played music and 50-something years. Never got any endorsements with that, but until after the beard endorsement. So with honest,
hey, how many people can number one can grow an epic beard, and secondly, get a beard endorsement? I mean, that's a new one on me, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, you know what? You've been at this for a while, and like you said, you've been writing since you were 9 years old. Nashville. If people think that your local live music person is great, you ought to go to Nashville. I mean, many of them are just playing for tips, doing cover songs and stuff. Some of the best musicians I've ever heard and singers were not on the radio. They were in your local venues and in around Nashville. For you to have a show of your own, all original songs, and doing a 4-hour set. I mean, I'm a musician. I do 4-hour sets, but they're not all my own songs. It takes a lot of songs in your catalog. And it also takes a boldness too, to stick to your guns and say, hey, I'm just going to do my stuff. And sure enough, it's paid off. Now, how did John Schneider find out about Jay Edwards?
So, all right, here's another weird story, and we go down the rabbit hole, but man, I had a friend that called me. This is the weirdest thing, and I'll tell you the whole story. So a friend of mine, this guy's named Greg Barnhill. Greg Barnhill wrote songs like House Lights Are Coming On in the House of Love. And he wrote a song called Walk Away Joe. You might have heard of that one.
Yeah.
You know, Trisha Yearwood and was it Don Henley? And
wow.
So I'm Greg, we've always missing each other because, you know, when it's like, hey, how you doing? I'm gonna call you. Yeah, okay, sure. Well, Greg called me and he said, dude, I need you. And I said, okay, sure. And what are we gonna do? Where we going? We're going on tour. Let's go. And he said, no, I need you to do this jingle for me for this truck dealership down in Texas somewhere. And so I said, okay. So I went in and I did this. This is short story long, but I did this little jingle for him on a Thursday. And you know, I was in there, come get your truck at whatever this dealership is. And, and he gives me my little paycheck, you know, and I sign my paper that says I won't try to make any royalties off of that. And he says, dude, you ought to come down to CRS tomorrow at the Omni, and we got this booth and we're playing music. And I was like, golly, man, I don't want to go to CRS, Country Radio Seminar, you know. They're not playing my music. It wouldn't matter if I made friends with all those program directors. They're not playing my music. And you know, we're doing this independent. And all right, I'll do it for you. I said, let's go. So I grabbed my guitars and we met up and I go trudging in. We go up in the Omni and we go to the main stage. And I'm like, yeah, oh, this is cool, man. At the end of the hall, and Big Machine is having their big banquet over here in this room and all this. And we go up here to the main stage. Well, no, it's not that one. It's the little one over here at this booth. And I was like, I don't even think y'all are supposed to be doing that. He's, oh, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Everything's cool. And so then he says, all right, you go first. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to be the first one to get kicked out of here because we're not supposed to be here. And I sat there and got tuned up and everything, and I hit the note, and like the first note that I hit and started to sing, they had a place partitioned off where they were doing interviews, and this curtain opens up. The minute I just sat there and hit that note and hit the first line, and John Schneider walks out. And so I just looked at him and said, hey, John, you know, I had no clue who he was. He didn't know who I was. So, and he just stood around and hung out. And then Greg went over and talked to him for a little bit. He walked over later when I finished the song, and he said, hey, you live in here, or, you know, you want to write a song together? And I said, sure, man, let's do it. He said, give me a pen. So he wrote down. I waited a couple of days, and I think Monday or Tuesday of the next week, so 3 days or so, and called him. And of course, then I got the text message, I don't know who this number is. So, you know, and I wrote, all right, this is Jay Edwards, and just want to touch base with you about the song. And he started sending me messages, just sending me song ideas. I was like, okay, this guy's serious. Nobody sends song ideas, just boom, boom, boom. And so I did. I sent it to him, or he sent me some ideas, and my wife said, you know, he's got a birthday bash coming up. You ought to touch base with him. And I said, I am not that aggressive. I tell you, but nobody else is going to do it. And I sent him a message, and I said, hey, bro, I I got, 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, I got that time off. If you needed somebody else to fill in, he said, yeah, come down, let's do it, man. And they got me up and we sang and just hooked up with them. And it's just kind of whirlwind, man. And it's a lot of fun. We're just ripping and running. Cody McCarver was sitting right there with John at the same time. I met him and we hung out, and then we all been out on the road, and I knew Keith Burns before, and we'd run into each other. And the next thing you know, we're on the stage with John and cutting up, and then Keith and I are doing stuff in Georgia, and so it's been a whirlwind, man. Even throughout 2020, it's been a whirlwind.
Jay, I'm not surprised by anything. In my world, one day I'm interviewing a rock star, a movie star, or a local hero. They're really all the same to me. I'm so excited and honored to interview them, but we're all just people. And that's probably what you found out is, man, John's a great guy. And he's a regular guy, that had a different path, and it was no accident that your paths came together. Do you know how many times I hear about positive transitions of careers having so much to do with a man listening to his wife? I mean, John, John's precious wife, Alicia, it was her idea to do Poker Run, and he listened to her, and we'll do it. And they did it. And they're just such a great couple. And same thing for your bride. Kudos to your bride, because, she believed in you and encouraged you to seek an opportunity that I believe that you deserve. Again, folks, some of the best musicians and singers you're ever going to hear, you don't hear through the mainstream. That has more to do with connections than talent, many times, not always. But people like Jay Edwards, just the real deal. Jay, your voice is very signature. Your musicianship is as smooth as it gets. And I recommend everybody to connect with Jay Edwards Music. Folks, you can go to YouTube channel, Jay Edwards Music, and subscribe. There's also, ways to connect with him. You can usually leave a message on those YouTube channels as well. I know, Jay, you've got an EPK, an electronic press kit, that's out there as well. That's on the bottom of your screen, folks. I encourage you to hit him up. I don't know how available you are with all that you're doing, Jay, but can people book you in advance for the year 2022 now that everyone's coming out again?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, call me. I'll come over to your house. Yeah.
I'd love to do some music with you, Jay. I've done 7 albums, and I was never really famous, but I held on to my rights. I held on to my material. It's taken me around the world. But all that to say is, musicians are a different breed, and they're put on this earth for a reason. Thank God for musicians and singers. I mean, goodness, do you realize how you can impact the culture just with your music? I mean, music, writing, poetry, sculpture. My kid's involved in music. If you have a musical gift, people, it doesn't matter if you have a record deal or not. As a lot of those people I interview wish they didn't, but you use that talent. And Jay, I'm so glad that you're using your talents. How many years total now have you been doing singing and playing and writing?
Oh, bro, I started when as soon as I could hold a microphone.
Wow.
My dad, I mean, it's kind of in the bio, but my dad still is a Pentecostal preacher, and and my mom played accordion and organ and piano, and he played an old flat top, and when he traveled around the country singing and preaching, and I mean, in the old days when you went Sunday through Sunday with no rest nights and that type of stuff.
Wow.
So as soon as I could hold a microphone, they stuck me on the platform. And my sister came along, and a couple of years later, and as soon as she could stand up and hold a microphone, now, we had a group, and my little brother was a little bit harder to get on the platform. He didn't care about but we did. That's just what we did. We went out there and we played. No half stepping. You just got with it, and then when Dad settled down to pastor a church, it just kind of depended on who wasn't going to be able to make it to church that night of what you were going to be playing. If you, hey, play the bass. Well, I don't know much. Well, you can learn. Go, and then next thing you know, I learned how to play the bass. And
wow,
and
you learned how to play everything, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I played at it. I can say I played at it. I will say this. You want to do your own thing when you're growing up as a kid. And I wish I'd have spent more time learning the fundamentals and
Oh yeah.
I'm not talking about Mary Had a Little Lamb. I'm talking about how to actually make a song sound good and when you're over there playing it. And so I use those instruments all my life,
Wow.
but it here lately, like we got a B2 Hammond B2 organ, a little big Leslie in the studio here. And my mom, I call her sometimes like, hey, you remember when you was trying to teach me? And I was like 13, you were trying to teach me to do this here. She's like, yeah. I said, hey, check this out. And she's like, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, yeah. And I'm 53, but I man, I love what I do. To go back a couple of things that you said. Yeah, I'm an old road dog. I guess it comes from Daddy being the evangelist and traveling.
Wow.
And
what an incredible training ground you had, man.
And man, I love the holidays and I love family, but oh man, I'm ready to go ahead and be done with it. And let's get back out on the road.
On the road again. So you identify with Willie Nelson's On the Road Again, how much you love playing music with your friends.
Yeah. We leave I think the third week of January, and we're back out in Texas. We're gone and playing.
You're in Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, Jay. I want to know where you're going to be, brother.
Yeah, we start off the 21st in Kerrville.
Okay.
And then we're in Austin for the 22nd. I'll have to, if you go to my website, usually I post those things just as soon as I can and put those dates out there. But we're booking up. We're still booking. And yeah, man, I hope a lot of people give me a call from this program and say, hey man, come play for us. We'll run down there. I'll come in your backyard if you need me to. Huh?
One of those people may be me, Jay, because Amarillo is a music town too. The Starlight Ranch is a well-known hot spot, and many people don't know that Amarillo is a hub. Of course, the people that are seeing this interview today, you're seeing this all over the country, all over the world, actually. But Jay, it's just good to meet the real deal like you, and talk about an incredible training ground in the church. Simon Cowell, his favorite music, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, American Idol and such. Simon's favorite music is gospel. Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
And there's a reason why. And most of the biggest artists you can think of started out in church. And I tell you, man, you don't have to be religious to know that that's the truth, and all good things come from above. And you have such a natural gift. But Jay Edwards, I have a feeling, brother, that we're going to be seeing you a lot more in West Texas and the Panhandle and beyond. And I just can't wait what's on the horizon. Your work with John, there's so much about you, man, that people can find out. And your work with John Schneider is fantastic too. We want to get John here as well. Now, folks, at the end of this interview, you're going to see one of the songs that Jay Edwards has on YouTube. What's your favorite song to play, Jay?
Man, I don't even know. I think it's, my buddy says it's that your favorite song is always the newest one. And I may go along with that because I don't write songs and say, hey, yeah, man, here's this, here's a song throw it out there. Somebody go cut that. Here, go cut that. You know, I don't just throw songs out there like Bones and to give away to folks. If I don't want to sing it, I mean, unless it's a project thing, if I don't sing it or don't want to sing it out in a show, that song's probably not finished for me. And so, I mean, I'm sitting on, I don't have as many songs as some of the other songwriters have. I may have 300, 350, maybe 400 songs, but I sing 90 something % of those songs. And the 10% I don't sing is maybe because it was written for a girl, or I wrote it with a female artist, and that hadn't stopped me. Sometimes I'm even singing those. Wow. But my favorite, I think some of the older stuff that I have would be a favorite, because I've seen, and I say it like this because I see over the years how some of those songs affect people. And I've had songs that I thought were okay, it's a good song, I like it. And then I've had, you know, a 6'6" guy standing there leaning over me and crying and saying, "Hey man, you don't know how that song, or what that song did for me." And wow. I was like, okay. So, and over the years, you see that over and over, and that's the thing that makes a difference. So.
Well, Jay, your song, "If You Ain't Leaving Me," tell us a little bit about that song before we see that.
That's an old song. That is an old song. And I get folks, you know, that come back from out of the woodwork from 20 something years ago, and they're like, "Hey man, sing that song for me." And I was, all right, I'll do it. It's just, if you ain't leaving me, then why am I missing you? And it's kind of a Southern soul. It's a little country, but a little soul in it too. And I actually did an album. Oh man, I can't even remember what year it was. And it was called "Leaving Me," but you can't get copies of that anymore. Wow. It's just, that's been pushed around under the rug somewhere. It was awful.
Well, folks, you're about to get a taste of Jay Edwards. It's fantastic music. You're going to see why John Schneider and others love him, and all the people that he's opened up for and hit makers he's written songs with. But folks, for those of us listening to this for the first time, hey, you know where to go. Listen to this music, subscribe to the channel, and book Jay Edwards when he's available. Not running the roads with other legendary singers and musicians. And Jay, first of many times, it's such a pleasure to meet you face to face for the first time.
Yeah, man, that sounds great. I'm excited about it. I was going to tell you too, speaking of West Texas, many hundreds of years ago, I lived in Pecos, Texas.
Okay.
So now Amarillo is West Texas, but Pecos is just about the end of the world. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know. Well, you know what, Pecos, Texas, when you see this, it's time for a homecoming concert with Jay Edwards.
So,
well, Jay, thank you for being with me today. We're going to see you again. And folks, here's none other than Jay Edwards. "If You Ain't Leaving Me." We'll see you next time.
All right. 2, 3, 4. If you ain't leaving me, why am I missing you? Keep searching for the things we once had. If you ain't leaving me, why am I missing you? Talking about good times, you keep bringing up sad. I know you love me, I believe it's true. But if it's over, baby, just say we're through. If you ain't leaving me, why am I missing you? And why do I feel so bad? Please forgive me any wrong I may have done. I know you said you'd stay through the pain and through the fall. saying that you're here to stay. I hear you talking, but I'm watching you walk away. If you ain't leaving me, why am I missing you? Keep searching for the things we once had. If you ain't leaving me, why am I missing you? Talking about good times, you keep bringing up sad. I know you love me and I believe it's true. But if it's over, baby, just say we're through. If you ain't leaving me, why am I missing you? Why do I feel so bad? You couldn't hurt me anymore if you let me go. So turn me loose, baby, leave me alone. You tried and tried to make it work for so long. You say you're with me, but you're already gone. If you ain't leaving me, why am I missing you? Keep searching for the things we once had. If you ain't leaving me, why am I missing you? I'm talking about good times, you keep bringing up sad. You made your promise, said you'd be true, but I can't bear your sad eyes, so I'm walking away from you. And if you ain't missing me, now that I'm leaving you, maybe it was love gone bad. I know you love me, and I believe it's true. But if this is over, baby, just say we're through. If you ain't leaving me, why am I missing you? And why do I feel so bad?
Saturday Man Show.